Teen Titans. From your borderline anime opening to your obvious influence from anime in the 90s, it's clear that you capitalized on what attracted an audience and, well, it worked. Teen Titans premiered in 2003, July 19th, same as my birthday, except, I was born some good 5 years or so before 2003. Anyways, besides Spider-Man, when most of his cartoons then sound like a grown man,
Chase you to the ends of the earth!
Teen Titans was one of the first cartoons to focus on superpowered teenagers, excluding Robin. The other heroes are relatively obscure, and Teen Titans' popularity really gave these characters the limelight, deservingly so. In fact, the Teen Titans television show was only planned to have 4 seasons, but thanks to its popularity, it gained a 5th season, and was even supposed to get a 6th, but I won't get into that right now. You see, as the show went on, a little after the 2nd season, the writers began to realize how much of an audience they were gaining and decided to change the show up to appeal more to the broader audience they began to garner. They focused on character development, with, besides Robin, was of characters most hadn't seen before, and even then, putting Robin in a scenario he hasn't really been in. 2 things were established silently within DC during Teen Titans' run. The first was that the Teen Titan characters stayed in their secret identity at all times, and that characters outside of Teen Titans could not appear in any other animated DC media, and vice versa. The first point, with the whole always in their secret identities thing, was more of the writer's desire. They wanted certain viewpoints of the characters to be established. Plus, most of the characters didn't really have secret identities. They were what they were, all except Robin. But, going to the second point, DC didn't want crossovers with these characters with other DC characters for unknown reasons. Regardless, the writers played into this, and decided that Robin would always be Robin, and besides a small amount of little hints, would not be known as Dick Grayson in show. However, they did allude to Batman like, once or twice.
And you're going to keep getting that thrill, and sooner or later, you will see things my way. Who knows? I might even become like a father to you.
I already have a father.
Especially when the Titans butt ahead of arguably the series' main villain, Slade. His comic name is Deathstroke, and while his actual real name is Slade Wilson, but Deathstroke is his comic alias. Anywho, the writers felt the name was too dark for the younger audience. Overall, but I feel like Teen Titans was a really dope show, and I'm sure most of you guys watching this think so too. It definitely was filled with heart, and it never took itself too seriously, but knew when to approach serious tones that characters dealt with in a meaningful way. This suited the environment of the show. It kept viewers engaged in how the characters dealt with their problems, and that's why I want to mainly talk about one of my favorite episodes not involving Slade, Deception. The episode starts with members of the Hive, basically EL but less evil, attacking a bank and stealing all the money and jewelry from said bank. As they begin to collect all their goodies, they're confronted by Cyborg and the rest of the Titans, as Cyborg remarks that the Hive's been very active lately. After a brief scuffle, the Titans force the Hive members to retreat the scene. As Raven complains they got away, Robin reveals he placed a tracking device on one of the members. Back at the Titans Tower, the group discusses on how to infiltrate the Hive and find out what they're up to with their big increase in their criminal activity. Beast Boy offers himself up, but the group decides he's too green for a sneak and disguise mission. Literally. That's when Robin reveals he's already chosen Cyborg. Cyborg emerges from one of the many random hallways in the Titans Tower and explains that the Cyborg that's been standing with them is actually just a robot replica he's put together, to avoid suspicion and get the Titans a little more backup while he's gone. When Beast Boy complains, Cyborg reveals the robot wasn't the only thing he's created. Cyborg shows off a new hologram ring he's invented, making him look like a normal teenager without all the robot parts. When Robin takes note of that, Cyborg kinda frowns a bit. Nonetheless, the Titans enact their plan. Cyborg goes into the Hive cafeteria, getting himself a school lunch, the kind of food I could only wish my schools had. He sits at a seemingly empty table to avoid confrontation, but as Cyborg goes to eat his food, he's confronted by the Hive members of the Titans previously fought before. Jinx, Gizmo, and Mammoth. They call him out for being in their established table, but also looking familiar. Jinx, attesting it to just him going to her previous high school. Pleasantries aside, Mammoth states that he's hungry before eating Cyborg's burger, and Gizmo launches Cyborg across the cafeteria with a spring-set chair. Cyborg, reasonably angry, uses his hologram ring to make himself look like stone before destroying their cafeteria table. He calls himself, well...
My name is Stone, and it looks like you need to find it in the table.
You know, the cool thing about that is that Cyborg's real name is actually Victor Stone. So after he awes the Hive members with his powers, they kind of brush it off and mention they like to see how he does in the training facility. While they fight all the robots, the headmaster of the school shows up to see what his top students and his newly arrived kid can do. After taking notice of the headmaster though, the group gets tangled up by a bunch of robotic tentacles. But Cyborg saves them by skillfully ripping apart the freaking ground and just kinda chucks the panels like disc and saves the Hive members. They thank Stone and start praising him for a good job when the headmaster, being revealed as Brother Blood, approaches them.
Sneaking into my school, destroying my drones, making my top students look like amateur pickpockets. You must think you're very clever, but you're not clever. You're brilliant.
He then heavily scolds the Hive members, threatening their life. Oh yeah, and he kinda has like mind control powers or something, yeah. Anyways, Brother Blood then floats up into the center of the training hall in his hover circle, and alludes to a weapon the entire school is working on, and how it will soon be ready to be unleashed. It then cuts to Titans HQ, where the Titans wonder why Cyborg isn't checked in. While Beast Boy is dressing up the Cyborg in weird clothing, the real Cyborg calls into the Titans. He lets them know that he's been mostly successful and has figured out that they're building a weapon. Robin wants to quickly invade, but Cyborg asks for more time when he is interrupted by Jinx and Co for his initiation. Cyborg begins to get more and more used to hanging out with the Hive students. They're pulling pranks on each other, doing homework, and working out. And Brother Blood seems to keep a close eye on his impressive new student. It shows that some time has passed now, and Robin is starting to get a little angsty due to Cyborg not calling in. Beast Boy attempts to figure out how to operate the Cyborg bot. And Starfire argues that they may endanger Cyborg, but Raven agrees with Robin, saying he may already be in danger, so Robin makes the call. When Cyborg receives said call, he tells him it's a bad time and he needs to study for an upcoming test. This annoys Robin, which entices Cyborg to also add on that he did other events with the Hive kids, like going to a dance with Jinx. Robin gets impatient and demands that the Titans move in and invade the Hive now, but Cyborg insists for more time. Robin agrees, but only in terms that Cyborg investigate more on the weapon. Cyborg complies. When Cyborg is totally inconspicuously investigating the weapon on one of the computers, while still on Skype with the Titans, he finds out that it's a weapon used to amplify technology or something to make it like hella strong. I'm paraphrasing. Well, anyways, as Cyborg comes to his revelation, Brother Blood walks in on him and finds out his identity. But before Cyborg can react, Brother Blood quickly disarms his arm and transforms it into an actual human hand. Cyborg is really happy about this. I'm sure even if you didn't know why he was half robot, you'd figure he'd be pretty happy about getting a real human hand again. But right as Cyborg finally gets to appreciate his new human hand, Brother Blood takes it away. Brother Blood then promises to make Cyborg completely human again, only if he does what he says. Cyborg, seemingly under mind control, agrees. You see, why Cyborg feels so strongly about this, besides, being half robot, when he previously wasn't, is because Cyborg wasn't turned into a half cybernetic teen for laughs. Before he became mechanical, Victor was an average kid with high prospects. Football team, studying, etc. But sadly he got into a bad accident. An accident so bad that his scientist father had to use alien tech to put whatever was left of his son back together. This put a strain between the boy and his father. Cyborg soon joined the Titans, not too much after that, but let's get back to the episode. The Titans, namely Robin, decided they gave Cyborg enough time and they're going to get him out. and take care of whatever super weapon the Hive has. When the Titans sneak in, Beast Boy drags along the fake cyborg, who he still can't seem to figure out.
Booyah! Booyah!
But the Titans continue to follow Cyborg's signal, which after some traveling, leads directly into them. When the Titans arrive to their destination, they're met with the Hive members accompanied by Cyborg disguised as Stone. Throughout the fight, the Titans kind of get their butts kicked. Robin is insistent on telling Cyborg to quit the act, but Cyborg retorts that
This isn't an act.
before Cyborg can land a world full of hurt on Robin, Beast Boy figures out how to activate fight mode on the Cyborg bot, who saves Robin from getting pancaked. As Cyborg fights his robot counterpart, Gizmo traps the rest of the Titans in a force field of sorts, while Cyborg continues fighting his robot duplicate. The bot gains some resistance, but after Cyborg beats the bot into a mini landfill, his hologram ring breaks, revealing him to be, well, Cyborg, at least to the unknowing Hive members. Before they can call him a traitor though, Brother Blood reveals that they do not need to worry about him. Brother Blood arms Cyborg with a weapon. He takes aim at the Titan to deal the final blow, as Blood eggs him on.
No! Please! Come on, buddy. We're your friends.
Sorry, but I have new friends.
But, at the last moment, Cyborg turns on Brother Blood, shooting at him and destroying the Hive training room in the process. Jinx, seemingly the most hurt, fits in a last comment to Cyborg.
You could have been one of us.
I could have been a lot of things.
The Titans escape the rubble and ask Cyborg how he escaped from mind control. Cyborg explains how, while his human mind was tricked, his logical robot side knew how to act. Cyborg goes to his room, saying goodbye to Stone as he seems pretty somber on the whole situation in his robot-y looks. When Starfire walks in, Starfire helps Cyborg feel accepted for what he is, and coming from a genuine friend like Starfire means a lot to him.
I never got to finish high school because of this. And when I was at the Hive, for a while there, I actually felt normal.
I did not know you before, so to me, you are normal.
Unfortunately for Cyborg though, he's left the team, no matter how brief it was.
You left the Titans. That means you have to be initiated all over again.
Oh no, I'm not wearing it. I'm not putting that on my head. Ain't gonna happen. I'm not doing it.